Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to Make It Monday Live on this Tuesday, June 10th, 2025. I'm coming back from a wonderful little mini vacation with my mom and Bevan that we took Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I suppose. I'm a little bit late today, just trying to get it all together, trying to get the setup back in line, trying to get my chamois wet, all the little things that I have to remember to do each time I go live. Good morning, Debbie. So glad to see you. Hope you're doing well. I'm so excited for today. I may be cramming in too many techniques, but it's going to be awesome. So, again, welcome to Make It Monday Live with Pamela on this Tuesday, where I'll be creating a 2-page 12 by 12 scrapbook layout. And you can probably already kind of see the theme of the page. We will be using Celebratory Sips, which is an online exclusive from May. So that's when it originally went live. And it's super popular, so popular that a lot of the products are out of stock right now. However, last I looked yesterday, the bundle was still available, so the stamps and the dies, but the paper and there were several other things that were not in stock. However, I got you covered because I have the paper and I have all the embellishments for my scrap and create kits. So if you're joining me, say hello, let me know you're here. Give me a thumbs up or a like, a follow. That would be awesome. So let's go through real quick what we have in our scrap and create kit to work with this week. Lots of awesome colors. Can you just see the designer series paper here? It does come in 12 by 12. However, I have cut it into 6 by 6 sheets. So you can see all the paper, the front and the back of each piece. And then I can also show you how you can use 6 by 6 papers other than this. We do have 6 by 6 designer series paper. Maybe you have some in your stash. And I'll show you some neat ways throughout the week how you can use your 6 by 6 on scrapbook pages and cards. We'll do fun fold cards on Friday. So tomorrow I will be going live again to do my 12 by 12 single scrapbook page for my story and sketch. Trying to figure out how to hold this best. So here's a sampling of all the beautiful designer series paper in this collection. Now, you don't have to focus only on the beverages, though it could be any type of beverages. There's lemon, there's oranges, so it could be fruit juices, it could be alcoholic drinks, whatever your preference is. But then there's also some great papers, just some floral papers in here too. And if you're using the back side of the papers, you don't have to focus at all on the beverages. So this is a super fun collection. I've already created, I think, just a scrapbook page with it. I'll pull that out here in just a second to show you. But this is a sampling of all the papers that you'll get in your Scrap and Create kit, along with a sheet of watercolor paper. We'll be using that today. I think that's a little 5 by 7 sheet. And then we have Berry Burst, Strawberry Slush, which is one of our new in colors. We have Old Olive, and Blackberry Bliss. So look at all those pretty colors. Along with hiding back here is a sheet of two-tone Timid Tiger. We'll use that tomorrow, and then you'll have sheets of um, White Willow, and I'll probably throw in a sheet of basic white. I do that almost every time in my Scrap and Create kits. So you'll get this packet with a sampling of the embellishments, a PDF with cutting measurements and a supply list, along with links to the videos to recreate my projects for the whole week. So you'll get that when you place a $50 order or more through my Stampin' Up website. So it's $50 before tax and shipping. And I'll email you the PDF in a week or two because it'll be after I've recreated or I've created all my projects for the week. But I'll ship this to you for free. You will also get the June 2025 Global Ink Collectives Tutorial Bundle PDF, which features floral impressions this month. You'll have lots of ideas that you can create with. You can recreate my projects using this kit, or you can create whatever you wish. Totally up to you. All right, so that's what I have there. We're going, as you can see, with the Blackberry Bliss. There is some petal pink in here, along with some old olive, and we will be documenting Jeff and I's first wine tasting. He's lived in Fredericksburg a lot longer than I have. His family's lived here since 99, and then he's lived here on and off, but we've been here going on 8 years, I believe, together. And we've never actually gone out and had an official wine tasting. We have gone to a couple of the vineyards. Both my stepdaughters worked at vineyards. They're like junior, senior years. And we went out and had a bottle of wine, split it between Jeff and his parents, and done a charcuterie board. I have scrapbooked about some of that before, but this was our first official wine tasting. So I'll talk a little bit about that and how that worked, and this beautiful vineyard that we went to a couple of Sundays ago. It was on June 1st, 2025. So I do have my journaling here already. I'll need to cut these strips out here in a little bit, but we'll set that aside for the moment and dig in here and get busy. So I'm bringing in some blueberry bushel to do my watercoloring here in a few minutes, but these are the official colors in the collection. Now there might be, let me look to see if blueberry bushel was on the, it was not on the official color list, but we do have all these colors in there. But I just saw a really cool technique this morning. I think her name was Angela. I may have to pull it up and see. But she did a fun technique with the blueberry bushel and blackberry bliss. So we're going to do that. I think we're going to do a little bit of heat embossing. I've already done some dry embossing, and we may color a few things in. So we'll do some stamping too, which I probably need to grab a black ink pad to do that as well. So I'll bring my Memento black ink in here. All right, so let's get busy. I'm going to move some things around, and hopefully I'll be able to find them okay in just a little bit. I've already done my embossing with these Cheers and Sips. I'm not sure the name of the embossing folder. And there is a second embossing folder. I'm not sure where it is at the moment. Let me look right here. No, I don't know. It's laying around here somewhere. If I come across it, I'll show it to you. But I'm using this one today with the florals. And then tomorrow for story and sketch, I will probably use the other one when I find it. So say hello if you're joining me. Let me know where you're viewing from. Would love to have a bit of conversation and chit chat with everyone. And I'm assuming I'm on Facebook and YouTube today. Just getting a little bit of a late start. I also wanted a second cup of coffee too. So, all right, here's the the Cheers and Sips bundle. Look at all the fun things that you can do with this. You can build your glasses with all the different fruits, and I guess you could do like Bloody Marys, and I don't know what you would have with some of these other um, just tropical drinks, I guess. And of course, they don't have to be alcoholic, but they have some great sentiments in here. Cheers to you, cheers to us. It's your day. Let's celebrate. Um, and I'm not even sure what you would use that little, I guess it is a stamp in there. Maybe as a shadow, you could use this. So we'll find all kinds of neat things to do with this collection. Really? Jasper's wanting to go outside, so I guess I'll let him. So he's just not sitting back here meowing the whole time. We had some thunderstorms roll through this morning, but we just were on the tail end of it, I guess the south end of it, so we didn't get very much rain at all, but I think up north of Fredericksburg they did. So these are the dies that coordinate with a lot of the stamps. This one right here is really neat because you can make it look like those glasses that have the etched designs in them, I suppose. So we'll do a little bit with that today. I'm going to set that aside. I think I will probably cut out a few of the little grapes here and we'll color those with, and then maybe do a couple of these little sprigs to put. I'll probably use this glass mostly today since we're focusing on wine. And I grabbed these colors to complement the designer series paper in the stamping blends. So I'll put those, keep those handy. I did do a little bit of fussy cutting out of some of the designer series paper. So this is one of the sheets that you can cut pieces out of. It's got some pretty petal pink and strawberry slush dots on it. And I'll save the rest of those. I just cut out the ones that kind of coordinated with my colors today. There we are. Hey, Jana. I always forget you're in Corpus Christi. You know what? We might get to meet up one day because we just learned that my stepdaughter, Lexi, and her husband and our grandson are moving to Corpus Christi. Yeah, I'll try to send the rain your way, but I think we got the tail end of it, and I think it was pushing up north a little bit. So, but it looks like we're going to have some all through the next couple of days. So maybe it'll come further south as long as we don't get the crazy weather that they were getting up north. So we were in Grapevine, Texas, Friday, Saturday, and drove home Sunday. And Sunday night, they had some crazy weather come through um, all that area, Dallas Fort Worth area. So we just missed it. We got really lucky that we didn't get in that mess, like baseball size hail and 100-mile-an-hour winds, like hurricane force winds. So we had beautiful weather the whole weekend. So um, thanking Jesus for watching out for us and getting us home before all that hit. So if anyone's up in that area, let us know how you're doing. Hope everyone was well. All right, so I've got this piece cut and I think I know how I'm going to use it. We're literally only going to be using this amount of designer series paper, I think. And this is actually the same. piece. So, but this was a 6 by 6. I just cut into 3 by 6, and then I used the second sheet to cut 1.5 by 6 inch pieces. So let's do some of our prep work first, and then our page will come together a lot easier. I've got my title already cut out from Blackberry Bliss and the mini alphabet dies. So that's ready. And again, I fussy cut a few little pieces that will coordinate well. So let me go through my photos just real quick with you. So this vineyard is like across, we're on 87, and then we take this ranch road over to Highway 16. And when you come out of that, it comes right, intersects right into this vineyard. We drive by it all the time, and they just happen to have these beautiful red, uh, um, let me think of what the name of the trees are. Crepe myrtles. That's what they were. Good morning, Charisse. And they were beautiful. I made Jeff go across the street and let me take pictures before we got on the highway because we went and had lunch in Kerrville. And then on our way back, instead of turning right to go home, he turned back into the vineyard and we drove around and saw the beautiful grounds. So this was the tasting room. He's like, "So, do you want to go in and check it out?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Why not?" So we went inside, and let me kind of put my pictures in order, maybe. Something to this effect. So they sat us down. We had 5 tastings of different kinds of wines. I'm more of a sweet wine drinker. I just like anything I drink to be a little bit sweet, not super sweet. So he focused on that for us. I do have a menu or a wine list I think I took a picture of, so I might can go through later and put the names of the wines, but I didn't do that for this. So let me tilt my screen up a little bit, and I feel like I got bumped a little bit. There we go. Straighten it up a little bit. So I used my portrait mode so I could get a clear view of Augusta Vineyards. And then there's Jeff tasting his wine. There's my one of my tastings. And then it kind of the order that we did this in, once we did our wine tasting, we did decide to join the membership. It's kind of spur of the moment. And Jeff said, he goes, "I did the math." He was like, "It's cheaper to go ahead and just sign up for the membership right now instead of paying for the wine tasting." And we got 3 bottles of wine. So I was like, "Okay, well, you're the financial guru in the family, so I'll let you figure that out." So we, as members, there's the wine tasting room. And then they took us over to the membership house, and look how cool that is. I love the shiplap and the kind of the off-white look with the wood and all the black accents. Oh, I absolutely love that. And that is what the tasting room looked like too. And then you could go out on this balcony up here, and that's where I took this picture out over the vineyards. And I guess they probably have parties and weddings. There's a little chapel thing right there, out there. And as members, we can go out there now whenever we want to the membership house and get 2 wine tastings and just sit and enjoy the beautiful property. Had no idea that this was out here. So, I mean, all the vineyards out here. Fredericksburg is second in the country, I think, to the wine country in California. I can't think of is it Sonoma? Someone might know better than me, but up north, I guess they have wine country up in California. Well, we have as many wineries, if, I mean, maybe a few less than they do going up and down 290 of Fredericksburg. And it's just blowing up and going crazy. So, super popular tourist town we live in. Anyhow, there's our bottles of wine that we chose to bring home. And I got Jeff as we were walking out the door. So, those are my photos. All right, so let's get busy. I'm going to set all these aside, try to keep them safe because we're probably going to do a little bit of splattering too. Um, and really, I really need to find my piece of, oh, I think I put it all in here. So I'm going to set this aside too, just to keep it safe. And we're going to focus on some techniques first. And I haven't even played with this yet. So we're going to figure this out together. We're going to build a little bit of a watercolor strip, I guess, so that we can end up stamping the wine glasses. So it's really not going, let me pull out, because these are sometimes a little bit bigger. I'll just pull out the die so we can kind of see. And you know what? I think I will do this one too, even though those weren't the kind of glasses we used. I try not to limit myself because we don't have real wine glasses in this set, but we'll do the kind of the red wine look, I guess. All right, so let me grab my spritzer too. I have this distress sprayer, and actually I'm gonna want to do this. Okay, so we're gonna squeeze the ink pad to get some ink in here. And if I haven't done that, nope, haven't done it on either one of these pads yet. Oh yeah, the peaches are in season now too. So this is like the perfect time to come to Fredericksburg. All right, so I think I'm going, let's see here, I think I'm gonna do two clusters with these. So let's do like two of each. And let's kind of see how this is going to fit on here first. So I'm not going to be able to get that many here, so I guess we'll go straight down. I don't need this whole entire piece. I really need, well, I may want to do it. I'm going to cut it right down the center, I think. Well, it's got to be at least that big, but my painted area is going to be like right in here. I may do some little pencil marks to make sure that it's wide enough. Okay, so let's do this. Let's move over here because I've got my 0 here, and I'll put it down here. So my paper's got to be 3 inches. So you're going to get the full 5x7 piece of, now someone wants back in, of watercolor paper. So this will be a scrap that you can put aside. And we're just going to work on this piece right here. So leaving maybe half an inch or more top from bottom white. Give me 1 second. Come on, mister. And I'm probably just going to spritz both of these a couple of times, and that'll get that a little bit wetter. You can use a paintbrush with a jar of water. I happen to have one of the um, water painters that are now discontinued, unfortunately. So we will do a little bit of water in here. And I'm also going to spritz my paper just a little bit. All right, so again, this is kind of like my first time doing this. And we can go, it's actually a little bit easier than I thought it might be. I want it splotchy. but maybe the top would probably be. I'm just going to go down the whole thing, I think. And then we'll add more as we need to. Because I think I want, not straight necessarily, but you know, like it was a glass of wine, you don't want it jagged, really. Add some more water if you think you need it. And then I'm gonna try to make, all right, now I'm gonna add in just a little bit of extra depth and color around. So it's just not all one color. Okay, I think that's gonna work for that. Now let me get a cloth. I have one right here. And I'm just gonna squeeze that color out as best I can. All right, and then we can go over here and pick up, I'm gonna keep this pretty light to begin with, I think. And we're just gonna add a little bit. We may have to do a little bit more of, I need some more water. And just dab in a little bit of the blue here and there. Keep adding water if you need it because of my, and I might come over top of it again with a little bit of Blackberry Bliss. There we go. I like that. Okay, we'll let that sit there for just a minute. And I am going to bring in a little bit more Blueberry Bliss. And then we'll shoot it with the heat gun. And I'm going to do this one more time. Did I get a streak of, I'm like making a mess now. Must have dripped. All right, now let's see about this. Get some more water in there. And you could just bring that in here too. I'm going to go over so it's not quite as blue. Okay, I think I'm liking that. That'll just give it some different colors. Now, if you want to wipe this out, you can. I'm going to leave it for the moment because we might do something else. I'm not sure. I'm going to just set those over there. And I'm going to just put my brush over to the side too. I know, I wish and hoping that Stampin' Up will eventually have some of these. They're my favorite. All right, let me make sure that I've got everything done in here. All right, so I've got my heat tool and I'm just gonna blast it a little bit. Let me pick it up. Just to dry it a little bit quicker so that we can stamp on it, hopefully. Not even wet, doesn't look wet on the other side. All right, I think that's probably pretty good. All right, so look at your color here. And then let's bring in our black. We need the stamps. Need a block. I'm going to do again 2 of each of these. And I want them, if you want, so they're not distorted, you can just kind of throw it down on the table and then pick it up this way. That way, when you go to die cut it out, it's going to be in the right shape, hopefully. All right, and I think I'm going to go this way. And then on this one, I touched it already. Let me see here. Leave a little bit of the paper that's not painted up at the top. Okay, so that's going to look good. We'll do one more. I'll do it down here on this end. Like that. And don't let me forget, I want to do shiplap on my white willow. I'm going to show you how to do that, or kind of give the effect of that. All right, there's that. Now I'm going to go ahead and do these 2 because it'll just look good with let me put down a little bit more, the variety and size. I like that. And you could do 4 of these and do 2 of each in each cluster, whatever your preference is. Give enough room in between to die cut them out. I'll go over here to this one. Okay. So now we're done with that for now. We're going to die cut those out. We'll just do this kind of step by step. Oops. And once we have our prep pieces done, then our page will go together really quickly. Now, as I'm talking about that too, about prepping your pieces, if you plan on participating in the album retreat, this is similar to what we do at album retreat. Everything's pre-cut for you. And I mean, there might be some fussy cutting. There, you get some more tape. But we'll be doing all the prep work first. They'll be teaching us all the cool techniques, and then we'll put the pages together, which will also include techniques. So I highly recommend that you join us for album retreat. I'm going to have to put this up here, I think. The tape. See if that'll kind of keep that together. Because you are going to learn so many amazing tips and techniques. I'm missing a plate. One second. I did some of that dry embossing earlier. So I need to add my plate number 2 in here too for this to work properly. All right. Make sure I'm still lined up good. All right. So you can kind of get an idea of what album retreat will be like by just watching my videos, because of course, I don't always have everything prepped ahead of time. But look, how cool is that? So there's some wine glasses. It has a little bit of kind of a great look to it. Okay. See if I can line this one up a little bit better. But anyhow, when you watch my videos, since I do them live and it's basically start to finish, and you're seeing me go through all the techniques that I do, this is exactly what we'll be doing for 3 days for album retreat. And this album is going to have a lot of interactive elements to it. They're going to be showing us how to use the flip flaps that have been so popular with Close to My Heart. And Stampin' Up brought them over. So you'll learn not only how to use them on your page, but also how to use your page protectors, how to either cut your page protectors so that the flaps on the outside, they may also show how to use them on the outside of your page protectors. And anyways, it's just going to be incredible. I know I've done multiple album retreats with Close to My Heart. So you still have a little bit left that you can play with. How cool is that? I love it. I'm not much of a watercolorer, but that was fun. Every time I do it, I'm like, oh, I love it. And I literally have probably a dozen or more album retreat albums. And I love every single one of them. All right, let me move this out of the way. We will probably stamp and cut out a few more pieces here. I'm going to get some of that basic white I was talking about. So we've got these pieces. I'm trying to decide. I don't think I'll put, let's do this first real quick. Set that aside. Since we have wine, I'm not going to put ice in my wine, but I will put a few little ice cubes in here and we'll do it. I don't have the white pigment ink from Stampin' Up. So I'm going to do the white embossing powder. You might could even do clear. It might be cool like that too. But I think I will just do on these two. I'll do a few. I think I will go over this just to get any of the oils from my fingers out. The anti-static pouch. It's just got some powder in it. And then let's do our Versamark ink. And we'll do a couple. I think I'm gonna do, you can barely see it. So we'll see if the ink holds on there or not. But I do want them to kind of poke out just a little bit here. I'm gonna do them at an angle so they fit in there. Can see that one a little bit better. Let me see if I think it's on there. Guess we'll find out when we do our, I'm doing white. I'll use the actual Stampin' Up one. This is a self-closing one, so I can hold it down here, be generous, let it, yeah, see? Okay, we'll set that one aside for a second. I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. And sometimes you can just pull up what you have there. And okay, I think that's gonna work. This could be your tutti frutti drink. You probably wouldn't get that at the vineyard, but I could have just done maybe it make it look like ice water, but and you'll want to, I guess I should just show you if you're not familiar with this. I'm used to just like going down like this way, but you have this little funnel here. You could do that as well. And I'm not sure where my little brush is. I have a brush somewhere. I can usually just get it back in there like that. Except for this one time, probably I won't be able to. There's a little bit of residue. That's what the little brush is nice for, but I'll probably just like wipe it out. And let me clean up my mess here. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that anymore. I do need my heat gun. There's a little bit right down here. I was able just to wipe that off with my hand. White embossing powder is my absolute favorite. You just want to make sure that you're moving it in a circular motion so that your paper does not catch on fire because it gets that hot. It can turn brown and it could literally catch on fire. Okay, so there's that one. You can also do it from the back. Some people do it so that none of the powder blows off, but I don't know if you can. Let's see if I can get my finger in here so you can see. Already starting to turn. And it's just melting that plastic. It's little bitty bits of plastic. All right. So now we have those pieces. Now we need some, I think, some sprigs and maybe even some grapes. So there's the little bitty tiny grape. Let me get my smaller block. Thank you, Jana, for joining me. We'll do black and we'll just color these in. So I think we can cut these out with a die. I'm going to do 4 of them because I do think I'll have a total of 4 clusters, but I'm going to do 2 big ones and 2 small clusters. So how's everyone else doing? Who else is here? Saw Charisse earlier. Let's do, oops, I've got my stamp set over here so y'all can see. Let's see if that'll fit. I think it'll fit. I'll do, I think 2 of these. And I guess I should clean this and put it away. So I think this is going to come together a lot faster than I thought it would once I get this done. Um, let's do these little sprigs. Just stamp them far enough away that you can die cut them out. And that, oh, I'm going to do one of these too, I think. I think that is in our paper. We'll do those like right here. Okay, that's it. And we'll just color these, I think, with Over here. The markers, we'll do, guess on these, I'll do just the bullet tip. Just barely add a little color. I guess this would be rosemary, is what I'm thinking. Just takes very little ink as these leaves are so skinny. I'm using the light Old Olive stamping blend. And then this one, I think I guess I'll do the light, and then I'll come in with a little bit of dark. I could have turned it around to use the brush tip, I suppose. I got the flies because of all the rain we've had. I have one snuck in. And let's take the dark. We'll do the bullet point, and we'll just gonna go over the stems, the veins, and it'll add a little dimension. I'm not trying to follow the vein exactly. And we'll do, I'm gonna do the brush tip. This is the light Blackberry Bliss. I'm gonna go like 2/3 on the left side with the light. And then we'll take the dark and do the outside just to give it a little bit of shading look. And then I guess I do need to do, I'm going to use the dark Old Olive just to fill in these leaves. And then we'll use the light to color in those little petals, the light Blackberry Bliss. Ink-wise, I didn't do Berry Burst in with this because there's not really any in the designer series paper. All right, so I think I'm done with those. Let's get these cut out. Whoops. I'm going to cut my paper down to 5.5. So if we have this left over, we can use it on Friday's fun fold cards. And if we don't, I'll probably just add in some more paper. All right, I dropped something. So give me 1 second. There we go. Debbie said she found the stamp set she lost. And I need to get with you because I have a scrap and create kit for you, plus that piece of perennial lavender DSP that I didn't have. All right, let's cut these out, and then we can bring all our pieces in and put everything together. I might can do one of each of these. And I did see your text about getting your album retreat. I'm so excited for you too. I kind of want to play with my stamps already, but I probably won't. Maybe I'll do them on, maybe I'll play with them like for a Mail It Monday card. That would be fun. All right, and then this one, so a little bit more. I didn't participate in the Mail It Monday this week because I was gone. Just didn't. I'm gonna put it out here. Sometimes they're still too close to cut properly. Then we need the little grapes. So I just need to run this through twice. Well, really 4 times because I did 4 grapes. Let me see. I kind of have to play with this sometimes to see if I think I got it on there straight. And maybe I'll only do 2 of the grapes. I don't know. That may be all we need. It's gonna be pretty. So we're doing just a little bit of everything today. Dry embossing, heat embossing, watercoloring, marker coloring. Here we go, maybe that one. And one more here. Sometimes I'm like, I think think I got it lined up, and then I don't do a great job with it. I think that's good. All right. All right. So I'm not going to do those other 2 grapes right now. If I think I need them at the end, I might cut them out, but time's sake, we'll just do these. So we don't have to run these through 2 more times. All right. So I'll pull those off, get that out of the way. And it is time, I think, to bring in our pages and get those put together. So I did not follow a particular sketch. I'm sure there's one out there that looks like what I'm going to do, but I just chose my photos this time. Now, I was inspired by fellow artisan Yvonne to for a little bit of the photo layout, I guess, from her Sailing Sunrise pages that went live on the Stampin' Up social on Friday. I love how she clustered her photos, so I am doing something similar to that. All right, so I guess we'll push all these over here. But these are all our little pieces. I am going to bring in a couple of those little cutout wine bottles. Now, I have shown you how to do this similar technique using the scoreboard that Stampin' Up has, but today I'm just going to, I'm just going to do it 1 inch apart. So I'm going to go this way and just keep measuring at 1 inch right here, I think. So we'll start at measuring 1 inch. I'm just scoring it. Then I'm going to move that score line to 1 inch. Make sure I'm pressing hard enough that you can see it. We'll flip this paper over and we'll see those score lines a lot better. And it'll make it look like the shiplap in the vineyard, in the membership house, and even the tasting room. I told Jeff we just need to build a mini version of this over on the ranch because we don't need that much space once Bevan leaves. Maybe like a 2-bedroom with a kitchen nook so I can still have my scrapbook studio. I've kind of fallen in love with this compact space. It keeps me from having everything in my studio and building windows, at least on 2 sides. Kind of the same setup is what I need, I think. So Debbie is chit-chatting. So she's excited to play with those papers. I'm guessing the perennial lavender. All right, so let me show you what we have now. Check that out. That's just a fun, simple background, and it is going to be perfect it'll go along with this embossed piece, and then it will give us that shiplap farmhouse style look, which I know Debbie loves. All right, let's see here. This 3 good presses works pretty well, I think. 1, 2, 3. Yep. All right. These will be all our techniques. We'll pretty much be done, and we'll just be putting our papers down and forming our clusters. I do have some ribbon in this Scrap and Create kit. So I'll see if I can incorporate that somewhere. Maybe just a little bit of ribbon poking out from behind the clusters. And then we have some holographic dots or gems. Let me see what they were called. I actually kept the packaging. Holographic resin dots. One more. Let me see. I can get that lined up properly. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to grab my glue dots and get these pieces down on the Versamat. I just like to put one in opposite corners just to hold my paper down and kind of look. Yay! I love the shiplap, Debbie. Okay. And I guess I need to, let me move this over here. Probably go under, of course. Let me pick these up, see if I can get them over on top of here. And yeah, I think I just fell in love with the Augusta Vineyard. I'm gonna flip it around this way. I think that last line is just barely less than an inch or something. So, okay, so there's our background. Let's bring in our photos. The photos on this page are gonna be the focal point. I'll show you how I wanted to do these. These will go over here. And just kind of tuck that all right in there. And I'm gonna do, I think like this. No, I'm gonna do it like this. Yep. So I want my title right in here somewhere. And then, so to kind of go like a zigzag. Then these pieces, I'm gonna tuck up under here somewhere. And I'm layering something like that, I think. Trying to decide. I felt like, don't think I want, I don't know, maybe we'll do it like this. I think maybe that's how I had it originally. Something to this effect. We'll bring this over here. So maybe we want it the same way. Um, kind of like that. And this further down. Well, this is going to go underneath. Just where we see a little bit like an L shape there. All right. And then this, I do want to cut in half. So this is the full, this is a 3x6 piece of cardstock, dry embossed with that skinny folder right here. And I'm going to cut this in half at 3 inches. And I think I'm going to tuck it sticking out somewhere like that, maybe. We'll kind of play with it and see how we like it. Just where it's sneaking out there a little bit. We'll bring these in. And then these, I want to overlap a little bit and pop up. So I think I want this one down here and this one up here, I think is what I'm thinking. So we'll have our title up here and then it'll kind of go like this. Okay. So and then we have an odd number of photos as well. I did have a eighth photo, but I want a place for a title. Okay, come on. All right, let's get this down. I think I'm going to keep it pretty clean. There is one thing I think I want to do with these that I didn't do, but I'll show you in a minute. All right, so I'm not going to do this one. This was the actual vineyard vines. They had them squished together with netting, and we asked about that, and that was one reason they do that is to keep the vines growing in a particular, I guess, up. And then another, so they can go up and down the rows. And then also because of the hail that we've been having this season, this time of year, it helps protect the vines as well. So I was like, well, that's interesting to know. All right, so my title is going to be, let's see here, Sunday Sips is what I decided on. So where's my N? I don't see my N. Did I lose my N? Maybe I didn't grab it. So, oh, I think it's hiding in here. There's a couple of letters hiding in here. And then I also, okay, Sunday Sips. I just need to decide which. I think I'll tuck it down in here a little bit. So maybe like have sips in here with Sunday up like this. Then we'll have our drinks. Maybe I may do it even further over here. And we can have our drinks over here somewhere. I think these are going to go down here somewhere. So we'll have one or two. We'll have one of each of these poking out somewhere. Just going to put them in the clusters that I want them. We'll figure it out in a minute. That's one of each. There. Then I also did P, B, and J. That's Pamela Blackwell and Jeff, or Pamela and Jeff Blackwell. And then these, I wanted to do something like little clusters somehow in here. Like this one, that's all I could get out of the designer series paper that I had. So it's going to have to come out from somewhere. I think I'll do maybe 3 up here and then just do the something like that. Okay, so let's get our paper down. Let's start gluing stuff down. And our page will pretty much be done. All right, I think I want to start with my photos. So we're going to start with this one. A 4x6 I'm just going to lay flat. I'm going to do it up about 3/4 of an inch from this left side at the 10-inch, I think. And then I'm not going to put adhesive over here. I'll just put it right here so I can tuck some things under. I'm going to just line it up right there. Don't want it down quite as far, I don't think. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll just do it about an inch. I'm just going to barely tack it down so I know that I can. I'm going to do these pieces first. I'm going to do this one just on that side. I want it kind of grounded right here, like that. And then this piece, maybe not glued all the way there. This one's going to tuck under. I do want more of it showing, and that's going to be about 1/2 inch right there, I think. So you see some of that pretty paper. And then let me play around with this and see, with that aside. Yeah, I'm really thinking I just want it tucked up in here a little bit, like that. So underneath all those pieces, everything's kind of off center, not lined up exactly. And then this piece, I'm going to bring in my roll of tape. And let's see if I can just put some. I'll do that one and one more piece. So I can put this up over top of this, and that'll just add a little bit of dimension. And we'll come over here and do this side. So right in here, again, everything kind of overlapping. And then now let's work on this side. And just line it up the exact same way. So right about 3/4 of an inch from the left. So all that should be lined up well. Pretty close, pretty much the same. And then I did do that 1 inch, about 1 inch down, right like that. And then we'll do these, both of these. Let me put this down first. Put the glue all the way there. So this is going to go down. Let me pull it up just a smidge. I think it's about like that. I'm going to flip it around this way. So I think the little lines will be similar. I love doing this kind of like paper layering. And I'm going to go there. And again, about 1/2 an inch from the edge over here. And just lift some of this up. I didn't do what I did on the other side where I told you don't put tape right here. All right, and then this one's going to go in a little bit and up almost to the 10-inch line right there. You see. Yep, I think that's pretty good. Pretty similar. So again, I'm doing a lot of mirror images. They look exactly the same, but they're mirrored. And then let's pop these up and then we can figure out where our clusters are going. Let's see if I can do it. I'm gonna have to cut a little bit of that off. And this one. I think I'm gonna do this one up at top. Well, no, I'm not. So I was thinking of the color, separate out some of that wood. And all right. I don't want to cut Jeff's head off, so hopefully I have enough room right there. It's going to be up a little bit higher, maybe than I originally planned, but we'll look at it and see. I may have to change something up a little bit. Okay, so this one is gonna be right about there. I really want this picture in here, but now I'm not sure if I want it up that high. So none of that's gonna be up that high. So maybe I'm gonna move this over here and I'll put this right here. So I take this, so maybe I should have brought this down a little bit more. We can bring this, so then it's not mirrored so much. Um, It'll come up a little bit higher. Let's play around with this a little bit. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to let that sit there for a minute and let me think about it. And maybe I won't use that picture. Okay, let's get our title down and we'll have our cluster up here. Um, there is my silicone mat. So sips, Sunday sips. E, spelling it backwards. So I. Hey Debbie, how are you? Oh, it is. It's a fun suite. Oh, I need to bring out my other one to show you. My other page I made a while back. Sunday sips. There's that. Let me see if I want to do, if I want to just line it up here. Or maybe have it off center just a little bit. I haven't decided yet. Whoops. Figure out where we're going to. I have to bring it in just a little bit more. Figure out how I'm going to pull these out of here. Maybe it'll go down a little bit further. I mean, out of here like that. All right, I'll figure that out. I'm going to go ahead and put my Sunday down. I love this blackberry with this collection of not only just this paper, but it looks pretty even with any of the other papers because there's a little bit of it in all of the um, fruits and wines and so forth. It's just the pop that it needs. Contrast, I suppose. All right, so now let's kind of, I'm going to put this one straight down, I think. And then this one I'm going to pop up and I'll grab my dimensionals maybe. Let me see if I have some of the regular size dimensionals somewhere. Here's some I haven't used. I think I want that going, yeah, like right in here. Well, I didn't do what I wanted to do. I was thinking about splattering those a little bit, but I didn't end up doing it. Um, all right, so I don't know if I want it coming out of there. Maybe so. What happened to there it is, my grape. I'm gonna put a mini dot on it and pop that one up. Maybe just like that. Can't decide. Maybe like that. Still have the ribbon. I want to find my ribbon because we'll build up this cluster a little bit more. Even with a little bit of ribbon, I think will work. I'm gonna pull that rubber band off. And I'm just thinking doing, let me find my scissors. I'm just doing it like this. So I can come out of here or probably behind this one. I come out from behind a little bit and then with some of the, it's gonna do, may need to trim it down just a smidge. Just add a little extra to it, maybe. Let's see here. Is that the biggest one? No. This is like the middle one. There's three sizes. These are so cool. Maybe do a big one over here. That's starting to help. And then do a little one. Okay, and let's tuck. Okay, let me look at my, well, let's do these clusters, and then I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna do up over here. I may just ditch this photo too. I could always do a flip flap, but tell me what you think about that, or should I just ditch it all together? Because I'm gonna put these definitely down here. I think I'm gonna sneak this right up in this little divot right there. And if you're just joining me and you're not familiar with PB&J, that is the nickname that Jeff came up for us not long after we started dating. It's because it's got our initials, Pamela and Jeff, and then his last name, Blackwell. There, PB&J. And these, I'm going to just do a little cluster right down in here, I think. I guess all of these were. This was right on the edge of the paper, so I thought I might just stick it something like that. And then this one, oh, that would be good. Maybe. Maybe this one could go up a little bit higher. I don't know, something like that. And then this one, put the green in the middle. Just thought I'd do a little cluster down here. Again, I tried to keep the colors, and then that one I think I'll pop up right there that were in the on the page. So I'll tuck it up under there just a smidge. Do this one first. Your mini dot. Yeah, that'll work. Oops, I really just need that. Just like that. And let's see how I want to do this one. Okay. Like under him. I mean like that. Hmm. Let's see. Let me pull everything off. Or just not use it at all. Let me see. I may have to scrapbook more about it later. I still do need to put, or I might print it off and end up doing a flip flap off camera later. I'm going to set it aside. As much as I love it, this actually, I guess, focuses more on just the wine tasting. So I'm going to do this. Stick it in here how we had it originally. So about right there. Because I do need to bring in my rest of my journaling real quick. We'll build this cluster down here. Let me just chit chat with y'all for a second while I cut through this. So I'm off on my days since I'm doing Make It Monday live on a Tuesday. That was because I was out of town. Doing a little graduation trip for Bevan we invited my mom to go with us. We had the best time. So can't wait to scrapbook some of those here in the near future. We visited a like a I don't know that they were really it was really an outlet mall, but the Mills, Grapevine Mills, huge place. And inside, there was an aquarium that we visited, along with, we went specifically for this place called Meow Wolf, which is kind of a art interactive museum. Bevan had the best time. She loved it. So, oops, I think I accidentally threw that over in the trash or my scraps. So, this last month, between graduation, Memorial Day weekend being the same weekend, I actually have quite a bit of things to scrapbook over the next month or so, probably. All right, so I think these are all ready. Well, this is why I love strip journaling, but we're gonna have to clean up. Hey, Vicky, how are you? This was going to be like a secondary title. I don't know. I think I may. Don't really have a place to put it up here, so I may end up putting it down here somewhere. Let me go through these, clean these up too, and we'll figure out. These can go like down here and up here. Yeah, so I think I'm going to need this space for journaling. So I guess it's okay we didn't have that extra photo. All right, so we're getting close to being done. Just adding all our last little details. Finishing up our clusters. And I'm gonna have to figure out how this journaling goes. Okay, so all that's in. That almost is. Let's see. You won't really be able to tell. I'm gonna do that like right there. I'll do this one. I need to pull in my silicone mat again. Can't tell you how much I love this thing. That one's gonna go up a little bit higher. I just thought of another interesting page I could make with this collection of products too. All right, so yeah, two little clusters. Let me go ahead and do this one down. Figure out how we're gonna do this one, like right in here maybe. With our, that right down here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put this down. So we went to this really interesting place outside of Austin several years ago called the Wizard Academy. And they actually have a whiskey vault. And part of the class that you do is you go in and learn about the different type of whiskeys and how they make them and all the details. And that was very interesting to learn all of that as well. And do a little bit of tasting. I'm going to tilt it a little bit the same way and put a couple of dots. But they had like at least 3 of the 4 walls in that place, it was a pretty tiny room, were just covered in glass shelves with all kinds of whiskey because you were supposed to bring a bottle to the event and share it. So, whiskey or wine, I guess. There's one. There we go. So surprising that I had a whiskey tasting before I ever had a wine tasting. Uh, I'm gonna put this like down here with, trying to see where I need to put it on there to kind of maybe like tuck it right in here. Yeah. All right, we're almost done, y'all. Just gotta figure out the journaling. June 1st. Augusta Vineyards, Hill Country Charm, Rustic Views. Is that sentence that long? Perfect pour. Let me see. And the perfect pour to return. No. Perfect pour. Give me a second. We joined the wine club on a whim. Can't wait to return for more vineyard adventures. Can I stick it in here somewhere, maybe? Maybe it'll just go up here. We sampled 5 local wines. Our favorite was the crisp white blend with pear and citrus notes. And okay, I feel like I'm missing something. Let me figure out if I threw it over here as well into my, I don't know. Are y'all figuring it out? Let me look at what I printed out. Give me a second. There's my journaling block. So I know this is going to go right here. We'll work through it. And then all we need to do is add a little bit more ribbon and our dots. So I'm going to put this somewhere right there, I think. June 1st, 2025, a Sunday well spent. They're not really sentences necessarily. Some of these aren't. They seem like they are, but they didn't do them as sentences because I asked ChatGPT to put it into a journaling strip form. Hill Country Charm, Rustic Views, and the Perfect Pour. Okay. All right, that goes there. And then we sampled 5 local wines. I'm going to put it up a little bit higher over here. Barely put it down. See if I need to move it. Tuck right up in. Am I getting it straight? The notes. Okay. And then I guess I'll do all this up here. Not sure if or where I'm going to do that one. Let me see. Okay, those are the notes. We joined. This will be perfect right here because of Jeff holding the wine. I feel like that one's. I'll look once I can see my screen again. And then this was just one long. Oh, This one needs to go. I'm gonna put it like right there, I think. Okay, let me, and this last one, I'm not sure if I have a place for it. Let me see. I guess I could do it like right there over the picture just a little bit. Okay, I think that'll work. Everything's down. Let me do a little bit of ribbon right over here. Couple of dots and we are done. I call them dots or gems. I don't remember what they were called now. Just do the exact same thing. I don't know if I even put any glue under there, really. Just kind of at an angle. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards you too, Debbie. But I was highly pleased, I guess, with the variety that they shared when I told him, we told him that I was liked things more on the sweet side. He kind of worked his way up a little bit more dry, I guess, and it was real smooth and sweet, or not sweet, but just nice and smooth. All right, last couple of dots. We'll do one down here, similar to this one. Do a little one, maybe up here. And I think I'll do a little one, just kind of right in here. That's good. All right, I'm done. Not doing any more. Sunday Sips, June 1st, 2025. A Sunday well spent. Augusta Vineyards, Hill Country Charm, Rustic Views, and the Perfect Pour. We sampled 5 local wines. Our favorite was the crisp white blend with pear and citrus notes. We joined the wine club on a whim. Can't wait to return for more vineyard adventures. Just the two of us, sunshine and laughter in every sip. Then PB&J, this unexpected afternoon reminded me why I love doing life with you. I love how it turned out. Excited. There's something else I was going to tell y'all. Oh, we're able to go because of the membership. You get 3 bottles, I guess, to choose from every quarter, I think it is. And then we can go to the um, membership room, which I decided not to put that picture in here. So I guess I'll scrapbook a little bit more of something later. Or, I might could even do like an insert something. I have some old close to my heart inserts I could put these in, maybe my additional photos I have. But we can go up there and get 2 free wine tastings. And they said every day. And I was like, what? I was like, yeah, we won't be going up there every day. But we thought this might be one of we'll try it for a little while and do a couple of visits and see how we like it. They have music on the weekends, so we could sit out and have our free wine tastings either out on the patio, or they have this part up here that even has an outdoor area, and listen to some music. They didn't have music that evening by the time we got over there. I think we missed it. So, anyhow, thanks for joining me today. Appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed all the fun little techniques that we were able to incorporate. And I really enjoyed how and love how it turned out. And you can see It's a very minimal designer series paper that we ended up using. I mean, we did use some by fussy cutting out some pieces here as well. And then that watercolor effect. I love how that turned out, just something neat. And we brought in some of Blueberry Bushel with the Blackberry Bliss to create that watercolor effect. So you'll get everything you need as far as paper goes in your Scrap and Create kit and the embellishments to create all the projects for the week. We'll lean more toward the Strawberry Slush and the Berry Burst tomorrow for story and sketch. Bring in maybe some Daffodil Delight as well. So this color combo will be really pretty tomorrow, more refreshing. And before I sign up, I'll show you the other page that I made a month or so ago, I guess it was. A Sip of Love. That was some sangria that I made my mom for Mother's Day. And there's even a little recipe here for the sangria. And these were just all die cut out of the designer series paper. So all the pieces were that were in here. So that was a fun one to make too. And this is an original sketch of mine as well. All right. So thanks for joining me today. I hope y'all have a great week if I don't see you again. But I'll be back tomorrow. Be back on schedule for Wednesday Story and Sketch Live, where I will create a 12 by 12 single page layout, and then Friday we'll do our fun fold cards. So y'all take care. God bless you all. Thanks for joining me and visiting with me, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.